episode of Studio Tech. This is the show where we talk about equipment that is primarily used in internet TV studios. Studios that probably range from a few $100, probably up to around $1,000, and that covers a whole range of equipment. And we're going to be looking at a camera today from Sony, and it's a little bit different to normal in that it isn't really aimed at the studio. It's really aimed at more of the creative side. It does have some functions and features that we thought might be of interest to our audience. And here is the camera. It's the Sony NEX EA50. This camera retails, you get it in the UK for around £2,300 plus tax, what's that, £2,700, £2,800, or around the $3,300 and that is a really good price for this camera. Let me give you a quick overview of what this camera does. First of all, the sensor in it is an 8.2 sensor. That is a large format sensor, and it has an interchangeable lens. That's actually pretty rare at this price point. And it's an E-mount system. The existing E-mount lenses, you've got other lenses that are various adapters you can get to connect to the camera. Now, having a larger sensor, what does that mean? Well, you should get better performance in low light creative shots. The lens that comes with the camera, again, when you look at this comes with an 18 to 200mm lens, 3.5 to 6.73 aperture lens, and it also has built-in steady shot capability to help with getting rid of many Now, one of the things that we really like about it, when you're doing an actual normally but this camera has a built-in feature that we really like, and that is a shoulder mount. Just slide out this bit from the elbow, and then the camera onto your shoulder. Counterbalance we've used it and found it to be useful, so we really like that for it in shoulder mount. Let's get on to some of these with the technical specifications. It does do APG at 50 the codec stores at 28 megabits per second. That is not a really great recording. I mean, it's adequate for a lot of things, but a lot of people, if they're using something like this, would actually use a separate field recorder for recording. And when we're out and about, we use things like field recorders like this. This is the Atomos Ninja 2, which has an HDMI input. But the output from the camera is only HDMI or component. So it doesn't have an SDI output, and SDI is what we traditionally use in studios like this. So it doesn't have that, professional serial digital interface for linking into lots of bits of equipment. But you can get really good quality out from the HDMI interface, and by recording on a separate field recorder like this, you're going to get a lot more detail. Does have a still mode. That means that you can take photos of it, and there is a button on the just above the grip which is labelled photo, and to go along with that, it actually has a hot shoe here where you can put, apparently you haven't tried it, but you can put a flash on it, so if you were doing a wedding you can actually take stills with it as well as doing the videos. Other things about it, it uses SDXC or SDHC memory cards. It's just a single slot, so it doesn't have dual recording, although Sony do have a mirroring memory stick, so if you use one of those, dual recording. But obviously, if you're using it professionally, you wouldn't really rely on one recording. You would have a dual recorder, which will give you a second recording. thing about this camera is it has some good features for doing things like spot focus. You can actually touch the viewfinder and focus on the touch. It also has a show you an example of that a little bit later on. And it also has things like a built-in GPS if you're out and about and need to go back to shooting video. You can look at the GPS coordinates and see where you are shooting. But that's the overview of the camera. To me, it's really aimed not at studios, but people who want to be creative, want to shoot documentaries, want to shoot movies. People perhaps who have used side of it. I'm not going to go through all the controls that's pretty well histogram, etc. But you can allocate those to other functions so you can have ready control. The audio controls and the slots for the SD XC card are there. The memory card just slots in to the side, and it's good because this is cheap memory. No, it's not any proprietary Sony memory, so that's good to see. Allows you to configure the audio functions. The lens at the front, this is a lens that comes with it. You can actually zoom it with the rocker on the front, so there's a telephoto or wide. Just one little thing to bear in mind with this is that as you go into telephoto, the lens does extend quite a way. You have to realise that this is going to go out quite a way, so you will need to make sure the rails with map boxes will handle that. So that's obviously there's other rockers, there's two other rocker switches for one at the top and one by the tip. So that's the side of the camera. There is a little earplug here for headphones. Always listen to your audio when you are here's the viewfinder. Reasonable size, seems to work well but the camera also comes with this adapter which allows you to flip over the viewfinder. It's quite easy to put on. That's a diopter adjustment you have the connectors for XLR audios, XLR A and B, left and right, and you have under this tab the all important to us, the HDMI output. And that is where you can take the higher bitrate output either into studio equipment or into a field recorder, and the USB connector there as well. Grip with rocker switches and iris controls and photo button, etc. And really that's it. That's a very quick look at the camera. Now you can see that we've got a microphone on the camera. Depending on looking at Sony's material, depending on what model you order, depending on your region, I think this shotgun mic may or may not come with it, but it does have dual built-in microphones on the front as well. But there we are, a very quick look at the camera. What we're going to do now is we're going to plug an HDMI lead in and have a quick look at the menus. We're not going to go through all the detail that we'll be able to have. We're going to quickly flip through the menus, so if there's something particular that you use, you'll be able to see whether it's there or not. And then we'll have a look at the information in the viewfinder, what you can see from that, and then we'll show you a couple of bits of video that we shot earlier. So we've got the lens cover on, and we've enabled the output from the display to the HDMI port. We're capturing it through HDMI, that's why you can see all this information. I'm going to quickly go around it. This is pretty standard on most cameras. Starting from the top left, 72% and the back to the left. Underneath that, equipment. And let's go back and then go down to record out. So this selects the settings for your record out. Obviously we're in HD and to 1080. Just so you can see the options. It does do 1080 25. It doesn't appear to be a 1080 24 setting. At least when you're set up for you've got a couple of 720p settings at the side there as well. So we'll go back from that. Just selected the 1080 media select where you're going to record to, and then your video out. it, always wear headphones when you're recording audio. The mic setup and the XLR setups. The display setup, there's a mention, the display is pretty well highly configurable. And version, display, calibration, etc. As you can see, there is an awful lot available in the camera menus, enough to keep most people busy for many hours going through it. So I mentioned this transition focus that the camera has, and what we did earlier was just took the camera out, just plonked it in our control room with a microphone in front of it and our audio mixer behind. So you can see that the microphone is in focus, and as I press the button for the other focus, it changes focus to the mixer, and then I go and press button 5, I think it was, for the microphone, and the camera will then focus back onto the microphone. You can vary the speed of this. I think we've got it set to about 3.5 seconds. It does give you the ability to do a very smooth transition between the two focuses, and that's great capability. It's not something you could probably do easily with manual focus. So it has this focus transition feature, it has a spot focus feature where you can just press a button and it will focus on the area where you have touch. So there are a lot of capabilities in here for those wanting to be creative with their video, combined with obviously the 1080 50 or 1080 60p recording. Look at this outside shot, you can see the zoom, an 80 to 200 lens, roughly 11 times the zoom. The rocker switch by the camera grip does allow you to do your variable speed zoom, you can see there. The zoom isn't particularly fast, which shouldn't make a lot of difference. You shouldn't be using too much zoom within your video, but outside of the video, you will get a frame more fast very quickly. Now this video is going to be compressed for use on YouTube down to about 6 megabits per second. They're not really going to be able to get a fantastic understanding by using buttons 5 and 6 on the side, being able to use those, get those depth of field shots, which you can because of the large sensor on this camera. And the price, I think the price is great. £2,300 in the UK plus VAT, or $3,300 or so plus taxes in the US. And that for the camera and the lens is a good price. But what about on the con side? Well, it doesn't have, the one thing that it's really missing as a video camera is it doesn't have any neutral density filters. So if you need neutral density filters, and you probably will if you're doing serious shooting, then you're going to have to just get one and screw it onto the front of the lens. Just be aware that you are going to need that. The zoom is slow. We talked about the zoom being slow, and the autofocus is slow. But you shouldn't be using it on autofocus. You should be using it on manual, right? So, but it is a little bit slow. Moire and rolling shutter, we haven't tested it. Some of the reviews that I have read over the last year or so have said that it does suffer from that. But at this price point, yes, it's going to suffer from it. You just need to be aware of it and be able to work around those things when you are happening. Probably the other thing that is sort of okay, but not great, is the bit rate. 28 megabits per second is the highest bit rate. Is okay, but that's equivalent to a lot of cameras, other cameras that we have of similar price and even more expensive do run on that bit rate. But these days, that's actually getting pretty slow, which is why you would use a question for us would be, would we buy one for a studio here? Well, no, we wouldn't. This is a studio. However, would we buy one of these if we were going to go out and do some documentary work? Maybe people shooting weddings,